Hey folks, it's Dr. Rowe here. I hope you can see me okay. I have just arrived in a hotel where I'm about to be presenting for the weekend, and I had to share this message for all of you who are parents or who soon will be parents, but particularly for those of you that are already parents. And this is a personal, honest share about experience that I had today, and I wanted to share it with you because one of the things that I teach when we're talking about communicating with impact, and communicating with impact covers so many different areas, both on a personal and a professional level, is learning to be present in the moment with the person that you're communicating with. And in my example, for today, this was actually an experience that I had with my daughters. So I want to get you to picture the scene, and I want to give you maybe 2 or 3 things at the end of this, ahas and some takeaways for anyone watching this who's a parent. Okay, so it's somewhere around about 8 o'clock in the morning. We've just been up for maybe an hour and a half. Most of you know, if you've got kids, getting everything ready. And the point I want to make is that in our heads as adults, as parents, we tend to have a movie, and it's like a script. And the movie is how you want the day to pan out. And each moment of the day is like a chapter. So chapter 1 is get up, get the kids ready for school. Chapter 2 is take the kids to school. Chapter 3 is get back from school, get on with business or go to the gym, whatever it is. So we all have this going on a consistent and regular basis. When you have kids, the point I want to make here is the kids have their own story in their heads with their own chapters, completely different to ours. And what I discovered over the years as a parent is if we're really not careful, what can happen is we can be running our own movie, which is often dependent on time. We have a certain schedule we want to operate to, and the kids have a completely different schedule altogether. And everyone's watching this who's got kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So for example, when a child is between 1 and 5, they're in an unconscious state. And if you've watched the Growth Tribes or listened to the Growth Tribes podcasts, you're going to see on there a podcast relating to parenting, or you might have watched some of my videos about parenting. So this is kind of a personal share. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of age, they're in an unconscious state. So every moment is the moment. Yesterday could have been a year ago. Now is now. Even 5 minutes ago could be yesterday. And looking into the future, it doesn't really come up. You know, they don't have any sense of the future. So they're in the moment. So you're rushing to get to school. You're looking at the watch, and the children are stopping to look at a leaf. And generally, over the years, particularly the type of school that our daughters go to, we've learned to allow for that, so that if my youngest stops and wants to look at a beetle or a butterfly or look at the snow on a leaf, we've genuinely taken the time to stop and look. As children get older, like my eldest is now, she's 10, 11 years of age now. 11, I can't believe it. And so she's in a slightly different place. She's conscious, but also at the same time, she's kind of almost an adult. So I'm talking to her as an 11-year-old, but at the same time, I have these mature conversations with her. But she's still, you know, she has a 4-year-old sister, so she still wants to kind of be in that moment. So here we are this morning, and we're getting out the door, and we're a little bit behind on the time. And I want to share this because this is a personal reflection, and this is on me now. What happened was, it was very, very cold this morning. We had got 2 electric cars, and we were getting into the smaller electric car, and my youngest was kind of playing, and we were saying, come on, get into the car. It's time to go to school. We've got to be on our way now. And I saw my eldest, Savannah, she ran over to the Tesla, and there was frost all over it, complete frost. And she starts scraping the frost and drawing on it, and she wants to try and make a little bit of a snowball to come and throw it at Daddy. She's totally in the moment. Her movie, her chapter at that moment is, wow, it's a frosty day. We haven't had any snow yet. The winter's on its way. I want to go and have that experience. And of course, who follows her? Because the youngest model's the oldest. If you've got kids, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. She runs after Savannah. Now, I and my other half, we're in adult mode. We're conscious mode. We're thinking time, got to get back. Maybe she wants to go to the gym. I want to go and get on with some work. Got to get ready because I'm going away for an event. So instead of being in the moment, and this is a personal reflection, I was like, come on, get in the car. We're running out of time. And we put our world, our constraints, we put children who should really be children at that moment in time, we put them into a structure that has been put upon us by society, i.e. the schooling system, traffic, going to work, whatever. We don't work, but if we were, we'd be rushing off to get a train. And we put pressure on ourselves and we put pressure on our kids. And this is a genuinely serious reflection. Honestly, I think right now there's a huge amount of pressure on kids, and without realizing it, us as parents are putting that upon our children because we are fitting into a system. I've got to get to work, got to get trained, got to get in the car, go to work, whatever it is. And we're getting forced into a system, and that system knocks down onto us. If I'm not there by 9, my boss, I've got to go to a meeting. So we then back that up onto our kids who just want to be kids. They just want to be present at this moment in time. All they want to do is be in the moment. And what do? We put these tiny little daily pressures on our kids. And it may not feel like a lot at that moment in time, but it builds up. And I have for many years, and one of the things I talk about in the purpose video, we have something called the Growth Tribes. And the Growth Tribes is where a whole bunch of us hang out. We talk about communication, we talk about health, relationships, business, parenting. And one of the series I've got in there is about purpose. There's a whole video series on developing purpose. And I go through this whole process of how anyone can develop a sense of purpose in any area of their life as well as their whole life, because a lot of people go through life and they've got no purpose, and it puts pressure on us as individuals. And in there, I've got one description of one of the purpose statements I have in my own personal life about being a speaker and about being, a great person in life. And it's about having magic moments. And a magic moment is a moment that you create in an instant that people aren't expecting. Maybe you treat somebody to something. You go through and you're in a cafe and you pay for the person behind you. Say, you know what, as they come up to the thing, you put the bill down and you put the money down. You say, I want to pay for their coffee, their drinks, their meal. And it's created a magic moment for that person. Kids love magic moments. And as parents, we actually love the magic moments with our kids, but we say only when it's the appropriate time. You know what? Screw the appropriate time. Fuck the appropriate time. If your child is in a moment, and what happened was we got them off to school and they got there on time. And I remember I went into the house and Stina, my other half, came back, and literally she walked in the door and she said, you know what, honey, I think Savannah was trying to give us a lesson earlier on. And I said to her, I was thinking exactly the same thing. I was actually getting ready and packing my stuff for the evening to come away to this event tonight. And I was thinking, yeah, I actually believe that kids are brought to us to give us a lesson. If anyone's watching this, you're a parent, you're probably thinking, yeah, I get a lot of lessons from my kids. But they're in the moment. They're there to bring us back to that childhood, to remind us. And we were adults in that moment, trying to be adults, instead of actually going, hold on a minute. They're loving the frost. They're playing with each other. They're connecting, which is beautiful. And what are we doing? We're dragging them into our world and getting them to conform to our script. You're not following the script. The script said the kids get into the car really well. They sit down and they're really excited. They've ignored everything around them and they're happy to be in the car to get to school on time. That's what my script said. Their script said, oh, guess what? Blank canvas. Oh, frost. Right, I'll write my new script. There was frost on Daddy's car today. I wanted to say my name. I wanted to write my name on it, and I wanted to throw snow at Daddy, and then I wanted to get in the car and laugh about it. That is what a magic moment is. A magic moment is not, hey, get in a car. You got to follow our timetable. You got to get to work, and we do that. So I know, some of you watching might kick back and say, yeah, but Ro, you don't understand. I've got to get to work. I get all that. But if we consistently do that, what happens to the magic moments? They go. And the only time we define them is when we go for a wow holiday, or we go for a long weekend, or we have at the end of the week, we're all going to have some amazing time together. Well, why can't we make those amazing moments happen all the way through the week? And we get, so what if they're late for a minute or two to school? Yeah, okay, so they get marked late. So what? It's a system. Screw the system. If you have a magic moment that they remember, oh, do you remember that time, Daddy, when we wrote our name on the car and then when it defrosted, you could still see my name there because it left a mark on the paintwork? Or do you remember that time when I threw that snowball at you and then you fell over and then you grabbed Liv and then you played for a while and we were late to school? But you know what? I still remember that. That's a magic moment. So I guess this is a bit of a rant and a reflection, and it's a personal development video, right? Remember, I could do a video here, right, on property. We could do a video on business. We could do a video on communication, how to be a speaker, all those things. But actually, no, I want to talk about being a parent right now, because for me, as a communicator, I think it's an important message to get across. So I think there's two things to take away from this. Number one, if your children are in a moment, just take a moment. And Deepak Chopra says to this, you must be a silent witness. Be a silent witness to the moment. And what that means is, stop, pause, and just be grateful for it. They are teaching us a lesson. They're saying, hey, Mummy and Daddy, I know you're in a rush, but guess what? You had us, and you had us for a reason. And the reason is to connect with us. So please connect with us right now and have this moment. So that's the first thing. I'd be really interested to see how the parents watching this feel about this experience and honestly reflect and go, actually, you know what? This is right. And how does it make you feel when you give them that moment? So that's the first message I want to say. And this is a message to me as well. It's like when I come back on Sunday night and Monday we're on the way to school and one of my kids says, hey, Daddy, what do you think about this? I'm going to stop and I'm going to remind myself I want to be in the moment. That's the first thing. The second thing is, and it's a deeper question for all of you, is what are the messages you think your children are trying to give you? What is the gift that over the next few weeks, when things start to happen, ask yourself the question, what's the message from this situation? If you're getting angry about something, or if you're getting aggressive towards them, not in a physical way, but just like, or if you're feeling frustrated, turn frustration into fascination. Ask yourself the question, what am I supposed to learn from this? What's this little soul who's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, whatever age they are, what's this little soul trying to tell me as an adult that I need to learn at this moment in my life? And I can guarantee you there will be something there. And I've learned that. And the fact that both myself and my lovely lady came back and had exactly the same conversation means that unconsciously, and I think because we're quite conscious in our state, emotionally developed and developing constantly, we were both asking that question without even realizing it. And we both said, you know what the lesson was Savannah was trying to teach us? It's okay to be in the moment. It's okay to stop in the rush of trying to get to school, to work, or whatever it is you're doing, and to enjoy the moment, because most of us forget to do that. And kids are there to partly, I think, to give us that lesson as well, because they haven't got into that conscious state yet. So that's the second message I want to share with you. Hopefully there's been some insight from this. I'm about to get some food and I'm in my conscious state now because I've got my laptop here, my computer, and I'm about to get ready to present to a bunch of people this weekend at the O2. I'm at the O2 Arena here. I'm actually at a hotel and we're actually presenting just downstairs in the hotel. It's Dr. Ro signing out.